Well, Senator, where are you today, and just kind of your thoughts watching what is unfolding in Washington and at the Capitol today?
Yeah, so this obviously, like all Americans, I'm horrified to see people scaling the walls of the Capitol, breaking in, sitting in the presiding Senate chair. I'm horrified and saddened. But look, this is, I think President Trump was able to demonstrate his true character today, as he has over the last few weeks. The actions that occurred today at the Capitol are a culmination of the actions that he has taken, his character. And candidly, I hope what is going to happen is the House and Senate members that are aiding and abetting this ruse that is taking place. What happens, by the way, in the House and Senate, there's a group of people that will take these positions to humor the base, these hardworking Americans that are out there who look to them for leadership. And then there's always a group of people, thankfully, in the House and Senate that show the real courage and do the right thing. And so we've had a small group of people who I respect many of them, and some I don't. But they've taken the easy way out, and they've not been truthful with the American people, and they're really taking a spear to the heart of our democracy, acting as if somehow Congress can be involved in this process inappropriately. So really, it's up to them, too, I think, to rethink where they are, to realize that their actions and the things they say have consequences, like we saw play out today, where a group of people gather on the mall, the president obviously saying very untruthful things the whole time, demonstrating again who he is, asking them to go to the Capitol. But they went to the Capitol because we have House and Senate members who have encouraged them to believe that they're taking actions today that somehow might affect this outcome, this election, which they know is not true. And so I hope that they will rethink where they are. They will stop aiding and abetting this terrible behavior that is taking place and be truthful with the American people and resume positions of respectability.
Senator, how optimistic are you that these individuals in Washington who you say are aiding and abetting this will openly connect those dots that you say are there?
Well, it's interesting. I would imagine, what happens when something like extraordinary happens, there's a lot of phone calls that are taking place. I have to believe that they, too, are horrified by what has happened. I don't know. I hope they are thinking about the fact that they have participated in making this happen by really not being honest with the American people, not being honest with them. So I hope that what's happening is there are conversations that are occurring that where they're saying, hey, look, we need to stand down. We realize that we are out of line, and we need to stand down and not aid and abet this behavior that really, really helps propel the president on to continue to say the untruthful things that he's saying now and candidly has said his whole term.
We just saw a video message from the president. A lot of people, before that message came out, had been calling on the president to tell the demonstrators to go home. He specifically did say that in the message, but at the same time, he started it with saying that the election had been stolen from him. What overall impact do you think that video message is going to have on the demonstrators and folks watching tonight?
Well, I realize it could have been much better. I'm glad that something like that occurred. And what I understand, I'm not near a television right now, but what I understand that the crowds are dissipating. And so the outcome of that, I think, is good. Of course, the 6 o'clock curfew and the arrival of hundreds of National Guard troops probably helped quell it also. But look, the president asked for this to happen. He asked for this to happen. He spoke on on the mall today and encouraged people to come to the Capitol. House and Senate members and who are objecting have encouraged this to happen. That's why they came, because they were expecting that as part of this electoral college approval, that these House and Senate members were going to do something that somehow would keep our president in office, even though they might not have been hearing clearly everything that was being said. They all are participants. I'm sad to say they're participants in what has happened today. And I hope, again, I know I'm repeating myself, I hope they will stand down. I hope that they will realize the great responsibility they have as leaders here in our country to not fool the American people, to not trick the American people, to not play into the basest instincts of people who, again, work hard and look to them for leadership. But everyone who is focused, this type of discussion on what has happened, what was to happen today regarding the Electoral Commission, is a participant in this unbelievably disruptive thing that has happened that has damaged our nation. The actions themselves, though, are damaging our democracy. And where does it go? Once a few members of Congress think that they can somehow affect the election, when the next election takes place and maybe one party controls the House and Senate, do people of the American people then think and expect Congress to overturn an election? So this is dangerous. What they're engaged in is dangerous, and it should end.
Well, Senator, and I guess I'll turn that question on to you. Both of Tennessee's senators are part of that vocal group of Republican senators that said that they were going to oppose this. What is their best, stance from here going forward? How do they go forward, having already given that stance, and then seeing what happened in Washington here today?
Well, I think I think this actually gives them a reason to stand down. I think that, sober voices, I'm sure, are talking with each other in the House and Senate. And that's why I just sent out the message I sent per tweet. I'm hopeful that they will realize that they are participants, and the responsible thing for them to do is to stand down and realize that, and I hope they will. I know them well. I know them well. I voted for them. But they have an opportunity now with all that's occurred, a perfect opportunity to say, this has gone too far. We no longer want to participate in this ruse on the American people.